Nobody would have thought that I would be the one. Rhyner, sports talk. Baseball, 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 baseball.
Oh, with the big mic. Oh, okay. All right, yeah. Okay, now I get it.
We got a lightning strike, boys. What happened over there, Grego? We had a little lightning strike right outside the window.
All right. Here's a tip for all these Americano League teams.
Wait, you said tip?
Yeah, tip.
Okay.
With a P.
Keep jamming.
The ticket, colon, nothing but a big Gen X jerk-off session.
This is a cool night or what?
Although somebody would hear that and go, bullshit.
I'm back, bitches.
And as soon as I turn the phone off here, we will be live at 5 and rolling and strolling. Well, the general area anyway. Hi, everybody. If you're watching live, hi. If you're watching generally do come to you. Let's see. This is the 8th of October. It is Wednesday, the 8th of October. And today in the D, we're not really having a Rocktober this year. It's been much like September or anything. But we're not here to talk about the weather. Because today we have Shoopy, we have Ashley, we have Becca, and we've got Kevin Gray.
I figured it was time for someone to put the dark in your dark companion. So I'm here for.
Believe me,
I'm here for you.
First of all,
I'm here for you.
First of all, I shouldn't touch that, but
That's why I'm here. I could do that. I could do that.
Just for the record, it has happened.
Shout out to CA. I saw him on one of your episodes too. So
What?
Name them.
I gave him a freebie with CA.
Yeah.
Wait.
Shout out to Chill.
Yeah, Clarence was here.
Does Chris Arnold count?
He counts. Shout out to Chill, by the way, my teammate over at
Guitar Slayer.
Oh yeah, the Guitar Slayer was here.
Who's the Paris Hart? Who's the
Paris
Yep,
Hart.
Paris Hart was another.
Dallas Morning News?
Yeah. What?
Dallas Morning News? Not Joseph, the other one.
I don't know.
Calvin?
Enough.
Calvin
Yeah,
Watkins?
Calvin.
Yeah, Calvin Watkins.
Yeah,
for sure.
shout out to Calvin. Yeah. Love me some Calvin Watkins.
But see, I don't see color, so I don't notice these things. I just notice good people coming in here to do good podcasts with us.
Oh, Preston Pearson.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Preston Pearson's another.
I love this. Is the part where we take the list out and just check them off. Yeah, exactly. You got the entire
we're
list.
friends, right?
Exactly, we are. Hey, we are exactly.
And now you're added to the list.
I am. I'm so glad I could join the list now.
You're at the mountaintop.
Oh, that's sweet, Rose. Thank
Yeah.
you. That's sweet of you. I
You've always
appreciate
been
that.
one of my favorites.
Don't make me
I don't
blush.
know how he feels, but
If I could blush, I would be so red right now if I could. That's so sweet of you. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for inviting me, though.
Our paths first crossed up at iHeart in the days of the time of the Freak.
That's right.
And now, since then, I'm doing this, and you are over in that DLLS scene.
That's right. I'm a walking company mascot pretty much every day with the shirts that I wear. In fact, I brought you one earlier. We'll maybe break that out a little bit later. But yes, I'm over at DLLS Sports. We just celebrated a year back in late August. So we have nearly 33,000 subscribers on our YouTube channel. And we started from 0, and now we're here, and we cover the Cowboys, Stars, Rangers, and Mavericks, and the Dallas Wings. And
So you're telling me you started from the bottom, now you're here.
now we here. See, I like what you're doing, Mike. I see what you're doing. I like what you're doing. You moving up the list already.
See?
Moving up already. I see
Who
what you're
said I'm not cool?
But yeah. I host the Mavericks, our DLLS Mavs shows, so pre and post host duties, and our daily podcast that we do Monday through Friday. So.
Well, that's good to hear, because I've been walking around here lately thinking about the Mavs season, which is nigh upon us here.
That's right.
It'll be here before you know it.
2 weeks from today, actually. 2 weeks from today.
And wondering, okay, we need to start paying a little attention here. We need to get somebody in here who is on it, knows what's going on, can tell us what to look for, and kind of bring us up to speed on the whole thing. And I can scarcely think of anybody better than the great Kevin Gray for that.
I love that, Mike. That's right. I'm so glad that Grubes has that because I've been missing that drop ever since we left good old 97.1.
I can send it to whoever your person is, but
you just send it to me, and then I'll decide who I drop it out to. Because there's only a handful of people I trust with that drop, and you're on the list. Like you're one of like maybe 2 or 3 I trust with that drop for sure.
Well, preseason has started.
It has.
And I guess things are getting ready to get into some kind of shape to roll out there. But, man, I think of the Mavericks these days, and I think of a big, vague glob of, I'm not really sure what. I mean, I think a lot of people are that way, too, ever since, well, you know.
That one thing happened that one time. Happened. Yeah, that's right.
First of all, let's go back to that one thing.
Uh-huh.
I always like to hear the story of people who come in here, where they were and how they found out and everything, because I think personally, and this is just me, I think that this is the biggest sports catastrophe we have ever had here. I mean, I can't think of anything bigger. And I know a lot of people are saying, oh, what about the Cowboys? What about them firing Tom Landry? What about Jerry coming on?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, Jerry was not the first guy to buy the Cowboys.
Sure.
The Cowboys had already been sold once before. And they were clearly in a state of decline, you know? For this, it was all on the upswing.
It was about at the peak of what you could get from an NBA standpoint, having just gone to the NBA Finals, and then, you know, the trade happens February 1st. You asked, you know, where I was in particular, you know, when the trade went down. So I'm a big wrestling fan, and I was at Cosm in the Grandscape area, the Colony area over there. So shout out to Cosm. I had just gotten
shout out to Cosm for sure.
Yeah, I don't know if you do
here.
free advertising, but it just happened. And I had gotten some tickets to go watch the Royal Rumble. So had a great night, enjoyed myself, good food, loved what I saw at the Royal Rumble in terms of, you know, watching it or whatever. So I get home and literally I sit on my couch and I'm like, okay, let me decompress for a little bit, you know, about 5 minutes or so before I go to bed. I'm sitting on my couch and I look at my phone. And at first, when you see something like that, you're like, wait a minute. Oh boy, must have gotten hacked. Because there's no way when I'm reading right now at 11:02 p.m. Yes, 11:02 p.m. that this is real.
Yes.
So I
call
read
it a
it.
News dump.
That's right. Imagine that, the news dump of all news dumps on a Saturday night. So I'm sitting there reading it, and I'm looking for someone else to verify that this is actually what's happening here. The next person I saw who said something to the effect of like, this is real, was Brad Townsend of the Dallas Morning News, that the unthinkable had happened, that Luka Doncic had in fact been traded to the Los Angeles Lakers. And I immediately call our head of content, Bobby Carella, and I'm like, Bobby, and I'm calling him in a panic. Because again, this is 11 o'clock at night. I'm like, did you see this? Did you see this? He's like, no, what are you talking about? I'm like, Luka got traded. Luka got traded. So we do these things called emergency podcasts. So we wound up hustling one together maybe 10, 15 minutes later. Mike, we were on till at least 1:30 in the morning. And there were thousands of people watching and reacting live with this because we just we couldn't believe it. And I remember I didn't go to sleep till almost 3:30 in the morning, Sunday morning, because it was just, my adrenaline was so high at that point that you don't think something like this can happen. And I had, you know, the good fortune to appear on another show at like 2:30 in the morning. It was the most insane night I've ever experienced in sports ever.
And, you know, the crazy thing about it is it came down from Shams Charania, who is one of the most squared away, straight up, reliable guys out there. Mm-hmm. I mean, he had the story. And he is the guy who posted it. And I wasn't quite living the straight and narrow existence that you were back then. Because I was at the Lakewood Landing.
Yeah.
Having a corn dog?
No, I didn't have a corn dog. I don't ever eat there. I just drink.
Okay.
Hey, no judging here.
And I just picked up my phone to look at it, see if anything was going on, and all of a sudden there is that blip from Shams. Mm-hmm. And I just thought, what? And I thought, okay, all right.
You thought you had a few too many. Like, you figured you was way too deep in at that point.
Yeah. I mean, at first I thought maybe I read this wrong.
Yeah.
So I put my phone down and then picked it back up again probably 30 seconds later, looked again, and there it was.
Well, and the fact that he actually had to tweet, yes, this is real.
This is real,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
And you know what? My immediate thought was, that's exactly what someone would say if they were hacked. That's exactly what someone would say if they had been hacked already.
No one has my password.
That's right.
I saw that and I didn't believe it, I saw that and I didn't believe it. So I figured what I'm going to do is just scroll a little further and see if I can find something else to either knock this down or confirm it. Some from I don't know. I guess I was looking for a higher authority or something like that to do that.
Cool.
You wanted God himself to come down, like, actually, Mike, this did not happen. Actually,
and I'm just sitting there scrolling like this and scrolling. And after a couple of minutes, I look up and there are about 5 or 6 people standing around me. They're all holding their phones and watching me scroll. Like they think I'm going to find out something they can't find out.
Like, Mike, please tell us this is not real right now. Please.
That's right.
What does Rhyner know that we don't?
That's right.
As it turned out, nothing.
Apparently.
It was just, it's the most bizarre night and the most bizarre scene. But nevertheless, that was then.
Yeah.
And here we are.
Yeah.
Time marches on. And the season is about to start. First of all, being over there in that DLLS, I don't know what kind of fan interaction you guys have, but I know that you're aware of how the fan base reacted to that.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. It was apoplectic. It was the most, any range of reaction you could think of, it happened that night.
That's a good word for that, apoplectic.
Yeah, from anger to sadness to bitterness to what the hell? Like, how did we get here? Like, all the range of emotions you could think of. Yeah, it happened. And honestly, what was weird was they were on a road trip, so their next game was in Cleveland.
And a day game.
It was a day game on a Sunday, so obviously they get blown out in Cleveland. And the post show that we did, no one wanted to talk about anything about the game, obviously, because what did that matter at that point? Luka wasn't there. And it was just the range of people just emoting the sadness, the feelings of how upset they were that they just could not believe that this had happened to their franchise. Like, going from Dirk to Luka to now him not being there at all in just the blink of an eye after having reached the NBA Finals.
Man, it's still just surreal,
Yeah.
And tell me how you think the fan base is going to react to it, now with all of that behind us and a new season to start. Where do you think they are with this? Because, I know you know this. I know you got plenty of this, as did I, as did we. There are all kinds of people saying, screw the Mavericks, man. I'm through with them.
Yeah.
So where do you think the fan base is going to be when the season starts in just a few days?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of them who have decided that they're not coming back. And the fact that they felt betrayed, not necessarily just because of the trade, but the way that it was handled from the organization from that moment on. Every single misstep that you could probably think of, the Mavericks engaged in that. From the initial statement, the initial statement that Nico Harrison put out the night of the trade was, defense wins championships. Those are the first 3 words that we got in a statement about the trade in and of itself. And from there on, that kind of set the tone.
I don't think that's what everybody wanted to hear.
No, not at all. Not at all. And that kind of set the tone for how the next several months went. There were secret media meetings. There were all kinds of different things that happened that you look at an organization and say, why would you handle something of this magnitude in this way. There at one point, Nico had said, I didn't realize how deep of a connection, I'm paraphrasing, how deep of a connection the fan base had to the player, which someone in his position, you would think, my guy, how could you not know? Like, you literally watched him help take your franchise to the NBA Finals, and the amount of fans that have felt that they were able to continue to love basketball or loved basketball because of the player, and the natural connection that you had for Dirk for 21 years. Then you get 6.5 years of Luka, and then all of a sudden, you know, he decides that he wants to take the organization in a different direction. I think there are a lot of fans who still and will continue to feel bitter about that for, you know, as long as they feel that way. But as Nico said, fortune favors the bold, and all of a sudden in May they win the draft lottery. And look, people ask us like, Kevin, do you think it was rigged? If it was rigged, awesome.
Yeah.
The fan base deserves something positive after what they have been through.
If you want to think it was rigged, which I do, we're never going to know.
Yeah.
You know, so okay, let's go on.
Well, that's cool. Let's go with
it.
Yeah.
If it was rigged, it was good rigged.
Exactly.
It worked out pretty well.
It worked out pretty well.
Like we literally had Mark Cuban on in the literal seat that you're sitting in about a month ago. And he joked about, like, hey, you know, it was with this, and then, you know, $100 million. And it's like, he's made it clear that he was joking, but, like, the odds of that.
Yeah.
It's got to be less than 1.8%.
Insane. And the fact that the Mavericks, after all of that, were able to procure the number 1 pick, you have a generational talent at Cooper Flagg. I think for some fans, they are able to turn the page a little bit because of that kind of fortune that the Mavericks received. They may not necessarily get down with Nico Harrison and Patrick Dumont and the actual leadership of the team, but the product on the floor, they say, okay, maybe things can be okay now that there's a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel in the form of this 18-year-old phenom that's here now. And
for what it's worth, I think we kind of saw that with the game in Dickies a couple nights ago, where people were tweeting about it. You know, it wasn't just the beat writers. It was people being like, Cooper Flagg is awesome. Yeah. Oh, my God. You know, Cooper Flagg and AD is going to be insane. And, you know, the defense is going to win championships.
Right, exactly.
Like, there was a lot more attention to the game, especially with it being on Was a Victory and all that, where people could watch it. Yeah. That you would not expect for the Mavs after, half a year ago, everybody saying, no, I'm done with this team. And, like, I'll be honest, I haven't worn a Mavericks shirt or hat or anything in a while, and I'm about ready to put one back on because...
Yeah, but you're wearing a Reunion Arena shirt today.
And that was kind of the irony with Kevin being on. It's interesting where, look, it's been an off season. It's been a whole thing. We just had a guy on that's going to do a play about
the trade.
About the trade.
Yeah.
I need to go check that out because, so I'm going to be checking that out for sure.
People are just, like, I think when it comes down to it, it's like, look, it's been an off season, unintentionally or not, like, the slate has kind of been wiped, and we still love the Mavericks. Like, no matter how long Nico or Dumont or whoever are part of it, we still love the Mavs, and Cooper Flagg is awesome. And if things go well, if we have a Dirk run, then he's retiring from us at 38.
Yeah. I think for some fans, the emotional connection has been severed to the point that no matter what happens with the franchise, the way that the organization went about discussing the trade, how it engaged fans about the trade, that, and for some folks, will never be forgiven, no matter how successful the team is, because of just what he meant to the franchise. And I think a lot of folks thought that Luka was their Dirk in the sense of there was 21 years of what Dirk provided. We thought we were going to get another maybe 15 years of that and be able to continue this amazing run. But I think fans have had to wrestle with, okay, Luka's gone, but Cooper's here. Yeah. So how do we figure out our emotions knowing what kind of future there could still be potentially?
And I think they've already kind of had that, you know, like Cuban mentioned, I think when he was on with us, like the Steve Nash leaving in free agency, where, you know, like nobody thought Nash was going to leave. He felt like such a foundational piece in all this, and then he left, and it's like, you're going to let him go? I don't want to be a Mavs fan anymore. And then look at all of us now.
Yeah, we've seen something like it before, but not to this extent.
No,
you know?
and I want to be
I
clear.
love
Like,
Steve
Luka
Nash.
is so singular.
He's a great player.
Yeah.
But Luka is one of one. Everybody knows
Yes.
that.
And Luka didn't want to leave.
Yeah.
That's the other. Luka did not want to leave.
There was no indication of it, despite Shoopy saying, he's gonna leave. He's gonna leave.
Yeah,
We all thought, okay, maybe in free agency.
Yeah, when free agency rolled around for him, I figured he'd get out of here.
Yeah.
And
not like
I always
this.
used to say that, but not like
a
this.
trade.
Not like this.
Yeah.
Not by creating the biggest sports catastrophe we've ever had.
I mean, arguably the trade was the biggest story, not just sports story, but it was the biggest story in the world for about a 2-week period. Like, it was on world news. It was on CNN. It was everywhere that you could possibly think of. And I think that just kind of crystallized how much of an impact the player had here, but more importantly, how much of a global star he had become, here in Dallas, that it was leading the A blocks of ABC World News and CNN. Like, it's kind of nuts how...
And even just players commenting on, especially when the offseason hit, there would be player interviews where they're like, I didn't think it was real.
They all thought it was fake.
Like, and all the superstars being like, well, if he can get traded, then what loyalty can I expect?
Sure.
And that's where you start hearing about Giannis saying like, oh, maybe I'll, maybe the Knicks are cool.
Yeah. Which, depending on who you believe, maybe Giannis is in a Knicks uniform at some point down the road.
I believe
or some other uniform.
Or some other uniform.
One conversation that I've had several times, and these are not with people who are particularly in tune with the game of basketball, but it's just something that comes up, is the difference between Luka and Cooper Flagg. I mean, they're two very, very different players.
Yeah.
I would ask you to compare them, but that's too simplistic. So tell me that if I ever get put in that situation again, what should I tell people? I mean, what kind of difference do you see between Cooper Flagg and Luka?
So Luka is an artist. He is a Picasso. He is someone who is willing to try anything and everything at any point, and he is brilliant as an offensive player. No one has ever accused Luka of being a great defensive player, and no one will ever accuse him of that. Cooper Flagg is kind of the antithesis of all that. He is someone that is a dog on the defensive end. He wants to play defense. He loves to play defense, and he has learned, even at the age of 18, how to make his teammates better. Luka was able to do that, obviously, with the incredible, artist and passer that he is. Cooper does his a little bit differently. He is all about that base, Megan Trainor. Like, he loves the idea of basketball. He's all about basketball, and he is someone that's going to get in there, wants to get better every day. And what we've come to learn about him is that he wants to be great. He wants to be able to prove, even as a phenom, that he's going to be one of the best to ever do it. But his calling card starts on the defensive end and how good he is going to be on that end of the floor, which, for the team that Nico Harrison puts together, that fits exactly what he's looking for.
Yeah.
And he's gonna be a phenomenal player. I mean, you saw a glimpse of it on Monday night, his ability to block shots down the open floor. Like, he's gonna be great.
Yeah, he is gonna be great, and it's gonna be very exciting watching him turn into what he's gonna turn into. I just have a hard time telling them that he's a little bit more of a traditional basketball player than Luka was. I mean, Luka was all about shots from 3 steps across the midcourt line.
Yeah.
And Cooper Flagg, then that's not his scene.
Yeah.
But on defense, down at the other end, man, he's all over the place.
He is.
He's a real disruptor.
Yeah, and that will be something that I think fans will love about him, is that he will be all over the place on the defensive end. Luka, probably the best offensive player of our generation. Cooper Flagg has a chance to be one of the best defensive players that we've seen in a long time, just because he's 6'8", he's only 18. He still has a chance to get bigger and stronger and taller, honestly. But he can guard multiple positions on the floor, which for any defense is spectacular in the NBA, especially in today's NBA for sure.
I've heard he can guard any position on the floor. Would you say that?
He can guard 1 through 5. Yeah, and that's the scary part. Like, as he gets older and gets bigger and stronger and fills out into his body. Right now, he goes 6'8", 6'9". He could easily be 6'10", 6'11", maybe 7 feet by the time he gets to his peak years. And as he continues to add muscle on and become into his NBA body, he can guard positions 1 through 5, and that's in today's positionless basketball. That's pretty frightening.
Yeah,
that he can do that.
That's pretty valuable too.
Yeah, exactly.
And I also hear he's a basketball junkie.
He is. He loves the game. His GOAT is Michael Jordan. He grew up in Maine. His household loved Larry Bird. So, and anyone who knows about Larry Bird knows how much of a dog, how much trash he liked to talk. Cooper doesn't necessarily give off the vibe that he's going to talk a lot of trash, but he's got a desire and a competitive nature that you could see on the floor each and every time he steps out there. Yeah,
he strikes me as a kind who's not going to be into anything like that, but is also not out there to make friends either.
No, he's out there about that ball. That's what he's out there to do, is the ball, and the ball hard for sure.
All right, so that's Cooper Flagg. Now, what about the rest of this thing? There'll be no Kyrie for a while at the start of the season.
That's right. That's right.
How long is that supposed to go on, do you think?
Who knows? I mean, it doesn't look like he'll be back before the end of the calendar year. The initial prognosis was 9 to 12 months when he tore the ACL. So, to me, best case scenario, if he's back by the All-Star break, a little bit after the All-Star break, I think is realistic to think about in terms of his comeback. And even when he does come back, you've been around the game in sports long enough. It usually takes guys a year once they have the ACL injury to kind of to become themselves again. The Mavericks are asking Kyrie to kind of do something that really hasn't happened before. It's like, hey, be Kyrie, who was an all NBA type player. Do that as soon as you come back from a torn ACL. It's like, well, hold on now.
I'm 33.
I'm in my early 30s, and you're asking me to be this guy, which, I mean, Kyrie's going to do everything he can to be that player. But that's a lot to ask for him at this stage in his career. But also, Anthony Davis is a perennial All-NBA player, great defensive player, but he's also had a storied injury history as well. So asking two guys who have had the kind of injury histories that they've had to be the leaders on the team, because this is Anthony Davis's team right now. Even with Cooper Flagg being here, this team's going to go as far as Anthony Davis and Kyrie takes him once he comes back. So
is that something Anthony Davis wants?
I think so. And for all the trade that happened with the Lakers and the Mavericks, Anthony Davis has actually been phenomenal here. He's handled himself well. He's ingratiated himself to the fans. He understood. He said initially when he traded, like, look, I'm not Luka. I can't be Luka, but I'm here now. I'm going to do everything that I can to help this franchise, win a championship. So I think AD's been fantastic here. It's just, can he stay healthy enough for a long enough period of time to deliver what he believes he can with the talent that's on this team here?
Is it a little bit funny that he's gained about 15 pounds? And
the irony is kind of hilarious. Not going to lie to you.
And it completely reasonable.
Yeah.
The eye thing, like, he couldn't do much, but it's just a little bit funny that, the guy that got brought back is about 15 pounds heavy, and that was always the thing with Luka and Nico and all that.
I mean, low-key, I'd probably be, crushing a few bonbons and Twinkies and stuff if I was sitting there after, detached retina surgery and all I could do is...
I still do, and I'm supposed to be on camera.
You know what I'm saying? Like, your boy ain't missed no meals either, so I can only imagine, like, if AD was sitting there with, a half an eye for a summer for 6 weeks.
Yeah, like, what are you going to do?
Yeah, exactly. You're going to put on a few pounds.
You move too much and your eye pops out.
Yeah, exactly. That. That sounds terrifying. So I'd probably just sit there and not do anything either.
Yeah.
So,
All right, so we've hit on Kyrie, we've hit on Anthony Davis, we've hit on Cooper Flagg. What else?
Did we hit on it or we just talked about it?
We just talked about it.
Okay.
You can talk more about them.
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah, you can work them in
You're
any way
Kevin.
you want. You can hit on them too.
Well,
if
he
you
said
want.
hit on, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm married, so I don't know how much,
Hey,
We're
faithful here.
Okay, that's good to know.
No, I
He
wasn't-
might not be, but
I wasn't trying to infer
No,
anything there. You know, it's just a figure of speech.
That's right. That's
if you
right.
will.
That's right.
All right, but what about everybody else? What kind of what's this thing going to look like this year? I know it's going to
So
look different because Kyrie's not there at the start of the year.
yeah, I mean they brought in D'Angelo Russell, veteran point guard in this league, to kind of stem the tide until he comes back, till Kyrie Irving comes back. You know, they're going to put the ball in Cooper Flagg's hands a little bit to let him kind of run the offense a little bit too. So it's going to be kind of point guard by committee, if you will, between, Najee Marshall, D'Angelo Russell, Cooper Flagg. There's going to be a lot of guys that handle the ball, but, they're prioritizing movement and spacing this year, the ability for guys to read and react and be able to make passes and be able to have a lot of guys, moving toward the basket. So the ball is not stagnant. The ball is just not. I mean, as great as Luka was, some of the folks will criticize him for the idea that he was, had the ball in his hands all the time.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, if you're that good, yeah, you can have the ball.
Yeah,
It's okay.
You heard it said that the offense died when he got the ball, but look who had it.
Exactly. Like, it's cool. We'll revive it when
Yeah.
we'll stand here in the corner, be wide open, when you pass it to us. But a lot of guys are going to touch the ball, so there's going to be a lot of movement, a lot of flow, and a lot of spacing for this team. Klay Thompson is back for a second year. Didn't have a great year last year, but shot the ball still decently, from the 3-point line. So this team hopes that by the time Kyrie comes back, whether it be February or March, that they're in a position, to make a run. So they're going to be having their calling card on the defensive end. They want to make their money there. They want to clamp teams down, and then basically like, look, you're not going to be able to score. We'll score more points than you because you won't be able to score on us. And that's going to be the identity of this team this year for sure.
He is the great Kevin Gray. He is with DLLS Sports.
That was smooth, Mike. I like how you did that. That was good.
He talks about the Mavericks on DLLS Sports, and that's what he's doing here with us today.
Yeah.
And we will have more with the great Kevin Gray coming up momentarily here. But right now, it is time for the dreaded and feared mid-show read.
That's the part I'm supposed to do the read now? Oh, I got to do the... Okay. I was like, is that for me? I don't have anything to read.
At least just follow along with the
Okay,
prompter.
got it.
This is where you get to watch me do a live spot.
You can do it. I do them all the time. I do them every day. You can do it.
Thank you. I feel propped up. I know you're with me now.
I'm here to
I
gas you up,
appreciate
Mike.
it.
Don't you worry about
Damn
it.
it. I was going to say, Kevin's gassing you up.
That's right. That's what I'm here for.
Should have known he was going to get to it quickly.
Well, let me ask everybody this. Do you find yourself in pain these days? Just general pain where something hurts or this and that hurt, and you really can't put your finger on what it is or why or anything like that, and it's making you anxious. You can't sleep at night, and all you want is to be rid of that and be the way you used to be. Is that where you're at, man? Well, if you'd like to fix that and you'd like to do it naturally, let us tell you about the CBD House of Healing. The CBD House of Healing only carries products from their lab. They are made to meet the highest quality and purity standards. Their owner is also a registered nurse. And when you go into the CBD House of Healing, first of all, she's not going to look at you funny. She's going to ask you what's going on. And you tell her what's happening with you. You tell her what you're looking for. You tell her what you would like for the end game in there to be for you. And I'll bet you anything that she can come up with something that will work for you, something that will lower the pain, something that will make you sleep again, and something that will put you in a lot better situation than you're in right now. And the reason I know this is because I found my very self in such a situation not too long ago. I went to see them about this, and it worked for me. And I know it will for you. So find your relief from the aches and the pains, the emotional stress and drain of this world, and sleep again. Shop online. They're at cbddallas.com or in person. The CBD House of Healing, where you can also grab a slushie. We would recommend them. They're at 8550 Plano Road, Suite 101. That's here in Dallas. That is in the northeast quadrant of that burgeoning intersection of Plano Road and Northwest Highway. Begin your healing at the House of Healing and sleep again. Is that all? Yep. All right.
That was excellent, Mike.
Dude.
Exactly.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Like, I think it deserves a round of applause.
Yeah.
Thank you.
If we had an audience, they'd be going nuts right now.
You think
Completely.
I'd be getting a standing ovation right now?
Yeah.
At least 5
maybe
people
not.
would stand up
Yeah.
and clap for that
Okay,
for sure.
all right.
Definitely. See,
I mean,
exactly.
like,
That's 1 of 5 right there.
Everybody would be clapping.
I'll take that.
Some would be standing.
Some would be standing.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
That's pretty good. I think I agree.
All right, well, let's get back into
See,
the,
that's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
1 out of
all
5.
right.
1 out of 5.
That's really good.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
well, let's get back into the Mavericks and the NBA and all this stuff that I know you are into. Are you into any other sport besides basketball the way you are basketball?
I'm a diehard Cowboys fan.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm a third generation Cowboys fan. Quick story: my late uncle Willie Towns played for the Dallas Cowboys. Was a starter.
Your uncle's Willie
Oh,
Towns?
holy
That's
crap.
right. That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
I did not know that.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
We like you even more.
Oh, that's sweet. I appreciate that. Is this the part where I just like get up and go? Because no, I'm just playing.
No, you can't go yet.
I can't go yet. No, I can't go yet. But yeah, no, he played for Tom Landry. Was a starter in the Ice Bowl. You all know the story. So he's my grandmother's brother on my dad's side. So yeah, I'm a third generation Cowboys fan. Only God's strongest soldiers are Cowboys fans, and I happen to fashion myself as one of them. And this existence for the past 30 years with not even a damn Super Bowl, no NFC title games, has tested
let
my
alone the
patience.
Super Bowl.
Yeah, let alone a Super Bowl, has tested the patience of all of us, particularly me. But yeah, I love, if you cut me open, Mike, you'll find some silver and blue pouring out of my veins too.
That's
So,
not healthy.
it's not. Trust me, I've tried to quit the narcotic that is the Dallas Cowboys, but I can't quit it. They won't let me quit it. The Micah trade almost broke me. The Micah trade just about damn near broke me. But I'm still here. I'm still here.
So crazy for us to have 2 trades of that magnitude in 1 year. I mean, I'm not seeing any articles or stories about places that have gone through something like that and have had more than one trade that's huge like that in 1 year. I'm sure it's bound to have happened somewhere, sometime.
Well, Jerry couldn't allow the Mavericks to have all the attention.
No.
Like, Jerry had to be like, you know what, Nico, I see you traded Luka. I'm going to raise you and trade Micah a week before the season starts to the team that's knocked us out 3 times in the last decade plus. And oh, by the way, who said, and I quote, handed me the most embarrassing loss of my professional life. He traded Micah to that team.
Yeah.
So good job, Jerry. Good job. Good job.
Maybe he looks at the Cowboys and says, "I really like your style there." Or looks at the Mavericks and says, "I really like your style."
You trade
Maybe he
star
looks at-
players?
Yeah.
I could do that too, man.
Yeah,
I
maybe
could
he
do
looks
that
at
too.
Nico and says, "I like your style."
Yeah, I like what you're doing over there.
If anything ever happens to you over there, come see me.
I mean, he also can't differentiate between a thumb and a middle finger, apparently. So,
He got fined $250 large for that, man.
like, that's nothing to him, but that's still hilarious.
Like, the fact that Roger Goodell actually had the what's to actually fine him for that was quite hilarious. I thought that he would fine him $250,000 for that.
And Jerry apparently went on the Fan and said, "Well, I didn't realize I was doing that. Like, I'm sorry. I'm
Yeah, I
just
thought
an
it was
old
my
man."
thumb.
Yeah.
He thought it was his thumb.
I was just so excited,
Right.
and like I was just trying to say this is great.
Good job.
Yeah.
Good job, Cowboys. Good job.
Yeah,
Except what I did was this and this.
Yeah. To the Jets fans.
no difference at all.
No, not at all. Not at all.
That's our owner and
That's it.
general manager.
That's right.
And don't forget president. Don't forget president.
And also, he doesn't initiate calls; he just takes them on trades. Apparently,
we could do an entire show about how I feel the way Jerry Jones goes about his business.
we got 20 minutes.
But that's not what you brought me here for.
No, we brought you on to talk sports.
But I get enough of that. I don't get enough talking about the Mavericks. I mean, I got to get my head right for the upcoming season.
2 weeks away.
And I thought, who better to get my head right than the great Kevin Gray?
That's sweet.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so has anybody else that we might not be so familiar with caught your attention, or does anybody else seem to be emerging?
I mean, the usual suspects that you know of, obviously talking about AD, Kyrie, Cooper Flagg. Max Christie's had himself a nice offseason. He's going to be in his first full season with the Mavericks, so a guy that can defend, is going to be doing a lot of movement on the offensive end, doing a lot of cutting, but a guy that can shoot the ball a little bit as well. His first 7 games, here in Dallas, he was averaging 15, 16 points a game, and we're like, hey, this is the Max Christie trade, the way that he was playing, because, of course, AD got hurt in his first game in a Dallas Mavericks uniform. But Daniel Gafford, PJ Washington has a chance to be a 6th man of the year candidate. He's going to be coming off the bench with Cooper Flagg now here. I mean, objectively, the Mavericks had a really good offseason getting the business done that they wanted to get done in terms of re-signing Kyrie Irving, getting Daniel Gafford his extension, PJ Washington his extension as well. So they feel like they're in position with whatever this window looks like over the next 3 years to try to capitalize on it as much as they can, and see if they can win a championship before Nico decides he don't want any more of this.
That it's time for a different defense to win a different
That's right. Another player to that's right, lead for championships.
So the Mavericks last year really had a nice interior situation going with Daniel Gafford and Derek Lively. How and Anthony Davis too. You can throw him in there. How do you see that playing out this year? But as far as dividing up the minutes between the three of them.
Yeah, Jason Kidd's going to have a tough job this year because this team really goes too deep at every position on this team. And you mentioned Derek Lively, who dealt with some injuries last year.
Yeah.
He's going to his 3rd year this year and is expected, to have a really good season. He's a lengthy, athletic defender, a guy that can finish extremely well around the rim. So, they believe that they can put out one of the best front courts in the league this year between, Anthony Davis, Derek Lively II, Cooper Flagg, who started the game, on Monday night. If that's going to be your starting front court with PJ Washington coming off the bench, Daniel Gafford coming off the bench as well.
It's strong, man.
It's strong. They are a very deep team. Again, health is just going to be the biggest question for them all year. Can these guys remain available enough to produce at the levels that they're capable of? And if they are, this has a chance to be the best defense in the league this year. There's a couple teams with, Oklahoma City. Houston has a really good team this year too, but Dallas believes what that they've put together, there is no better front court in the league, arguably, than what Dallas has put together.
All right, now when you look at Houston, let's talk about some of these other teams here that could be in the mix. When you look at Houston, what do you see in them?
I mean, they brought in Kevin Durant, obviously.
Yeah.
And he's a guy that can go get it for you in the postseason. And last year, they were able to get all the way up to the 2 seed, but they didn't have a guy that you could look to and say, I need you to go get a bucket for me in the 4th quarter. Kevin Durant is no stranger to doing that. It's a 2-time champion, 2-time finals, MVP. So they suffered an injury with Fred VanVleet, their starting point guard. He's going to be out, for the year with a torn ACL, but they've got a burgeoning star in Amen Thompson, who is going to be a defensive player of the year candidate for years to come. He's hyper athletic, can defend multiple positions. The question will be for him, how much does his offensive game grow this year? They're going to put the ball in his hands a little bit to run the point a little bit, along with Reed Shepard and a couple other guys. But Amen Thompson is going to be a phenomenal player for years to come. I love watching him play. Talk about a guy that's playing defense. Amen Thompson is that guy. Houston's going to be really good this year. Houston's going to be really good.
Of course, when you talk about them or the Mavericks or anything else, you got to look at the boys from just up north across the Red River, the Vacation Bible School bunch, who won it all last year.
Yeah.
Much to my shock and even dismay.
Yeah.
But they won it. They won it fair and square, and they won it because they were really good. And it looks like they're back for more.
They are. I mean, Oklahoma City won 67 games this year. I mean, Denver took them to the brink in the West semis. You know, who knows what happens if Tyrese Halliburton doesn't get hurt, you know, in the NBA Finals, if Indiana can win that Game 7 on the road. But SGA had one of the more historic seasons, you know, in NBA history. Champion, Finals MVP, West Finals MVP, League MVP, scoring champion as well. Oklahoma City is young. They're deep. And now they have the kind of championship experience that will allow them to remain at the top for several years. I mean, Denver's right there too. Nikola Jokic, 3-time league MVP. I thought Denver had arguably the best offseason of any team in what they were able to do. So they'll be right there. But yeah, OKC is at the top of the food chart right now.
Over in the East, one team that I'm keeping my eye on is the Boston Celtics, but not for reasons that you might imagine.
Yeah.
Everybody thinks about the Boston Celtics, and they're almost one of those teams in sports that we have that are automatically good every year. Could be different this year.
Yeah.
Because they just got sold, and it seems like the new owner comes in with the idea that, okay, we're going to tear this thing down. They're going to be without Jason Tatum, probably for the whole year, because he's injured and won't be able to play. But there are going to be a lot of other different faces around there, it seems like.
Yeah, this team had to shed some payroll in order to get themselves, you know, where they wanted to be from a financial standpoint. They moved on for Kristaps Porzingis. You know, they trade him to Atlanta. Drew Holiday, they move him to Portland. But
now that surprised me.
It surprised a little bit of people of where he went. I don't think, you know, Holiday was going to be on the Celtics this year just because their financial situation was what it was.
Yeah.
But going to Portland was a little bit of surprise.
I just always heard and read, though, how important to them he was.
Yeah. And he helped deliver a championship there. I think they got everything that they desire for Drew Holiday to help them achieve. And, you know, I think teams like Boston, Indiana will look at this year as kind of a gap year for them. You know, you mentioned Jason Tatum's not going to be available, you know, this year with the Achilles injury. So Jaylen Brown has a chance to, at least for this year, you know, assert himself as the man, you know, in Boston. And once Tatum's able to come back, it'll be interesting to see how they navigate the East. But, I mean, for teams like Cleveland, New York, Orlando has a chance to take a big step this year after acquiring TCU's own Desmond Bain. So, the East is wide open. The East is wide open.
Yeah, TCU.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, shout out to the Horned Frogs. So Orlando's going to be good this year. They're one of the more intriguing teams in the league, but obviously particularly in the East this year.
It seems like in basketball, you rarely see a division or a conference, I guess, that is as wide open as the East seems to be.
Yeah.
Because, you know, with the Celtics taking a voluntary step back, I mean, it could go a number of ways.
Yeah.
And if you want mystery guests, there's probably one in there somewhere.
I think Atlanta has a chance to make some noise this year. Like I said, Cleveland, New York are the favorites. Who knows what Milwaukee is going to be? They got Miles Turner from Indiana. You know, we talked about Giannis a little bit earlier. What's the situation going to be for him, you know, as they try to navigate themselves to the East? But, you know, Cleveland, New York should be, I would consider, the favorites in the East this year. But there's some teams like Detroit who had a really good year last year. You know, speaking of the DFW area, and, you know, Kate Cunningham was phenomenal last year, and he's going to take another step. So, yeah, there's some terrific talent in the East. But, yeah, Cleveland, New York should be, I would imagine, the favorites this year.
And in the West, we've been a little bit Maverick-centric here.
Yeah.
Let's look at you mentioned Houston. Who else?
Man, Houston, Denver. I mean, the West is loaded. I mean, the West is absolutely loaded this year. I mean, Minnesota's back. You know, Anthony Edwards, a year older at 23 years of age. You know, that team in Los Angeles that has a certain number, 77, you know, they're expected to be pretty good. DeAndre Ayton's kind of a wild card. They brought him in, you know, after Portland bought him out. So, you know, can Ayton find some motivation? Because this is really kind of it for him. If he can't play well with arguably the best player that he's ever played with in Luka-Doncic and obviously LeBron James there too, you know, who knows what the rest of his future of his NBA career looks like. But the Clippers are a really good team this year too, you know, aside from Steve Ballmer, you know, allegedly, you know, circumventing the cap, which is the whole aspiration and Kawhi Leonard situation.
How much are you following that?
Cuban won't allow me not to follow it at this rate, given how much he tweets about it and talks about it. But I have found Pablo Torres reporting on it just completely fascinating. The level of detail and documents, and every time someone tries to refute
it seems like he's got everything anybody could possibly want.
Yeah, exactly. He's in there with stacks and stacks of papers. Hey, this is what this is. This is what this is, and it's been wild to follow, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So
it's crazy.
What are we going to do about this?
I don't know. What are we going to do about it, Shoopy? I look to you for this.
You circumventing the cap over here? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, he's circumventing the cap.
That's how you afford all this? You paying folks
I'm
on the
making
table?
so much money.
You just don't want anybody else to find out where you're getting it from. Got it.
Don't worry about where it comes from.
That's good point. Good point.
All right, one more thing for you, Kevin Gray. When it's all over with, who's standing? Give us one.
I mean, how much you like Vacation Bible School? Because you might be spending some more time in OKC this year. Because they're the champs till they're not, right? Houston, Denver, Cleveland, New York, but OKC they're that damn good. And
yeah, they really are.
And they're young, and everybody's like, well, what about the cap? It's going to get them financial. No, Sam Presti and the 10 million picks that he has and the financial flexibility that they got in Oklahoma City, about the next 2-3 years, they're going to be right at the top. If they stay healthy, they're going to be the favorites to win the title.
I can see this being a Florida Panthers type thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Florida Panthers are a hockey team that nobody pays any attention to. Mm-hmm. Yet they won the last 2 Stanley Cups.
They're winning cups now, yeah.
Left and right. That could be Oklahoma City.
Mm-hmm. And the interesting thing about OKC is that, they've been able to fill in the gaps where they need. They got Isaiah Hartenstein last year. He comes in, plug and play.
Helps. I love that guy too.
Yeah. Most expensive screener in the game, Isaiah Hartenstein. But he does what he does is what he's supposed to do, and he fits right in with Caruso and all those guys.
And he can do other stuff too, if you need him to.
Yeah. And they're deep, they're talented, and like I said, they're young, so they're going to be there for a good while there.
Well, I hope you're going to be here for a good while too, Kevin Gray.
Well, I appreciate that.
It's good to have you in our midst, and good to have you in the sports scene. You know your ball, and I like that, man.
I appreciate you, Mike. I always tell folks, the day I got the Mike Rhyner rub, pause, I knew I had made it in this business. A good friend of mine, of ours, Jeff Kavanaugh, told me when we were doing our night show, me and Reggie were doing our night show, he pulled me aside one day and said, hey, Mike Rhyner listens to your show, and he likes what you're doing. I said, first of all, what's Mike doing up late that late at night anyway? But number two, that's amazing to know that someone of your stature and your caliber and the legendary career that you had was listening to my little old show from 7 to 11 at night. So once I found that, I was like, I must be doing something right because Mike Rhyner said I do good stuff. So.
Well, I was listening to you waiting for you to screw up, and you know what? You never did. You never did.
That's good to know because you never know who you're performing for. You never know who
That's right. You do never know who's out there on the other side.
That's right. You never know who's listening. So
you got to bring it, man.
Yeah.
You got to bring it, and you do bring it.
I appreciate that.
That's a hell of a show, though. You and Reggie.
Yeah, man. I miss my guy.
He's one of my favorites. I know he's killing it in
Houston.
Yeah. But my God, that's a hell of a show.
Yeah, man. We had a fantastic run for a year, and that's of everything I've done so far in my career. That's the thing I'm most proud of is the show that we were able to put together from 7 to 11, the Get Right on the Fan, and I love doing that show. Reggie became a brother to me, and he still is to this day. And we talk almost every day at this point, even with him being in Houston. So I miss my guy, Reg. That's my guy.
Kevin Gray, greatness is ahead for you, and you got more of it coming.
I appreciate that, Mike.
So
I appreciate
keep dishing
that,
it, man.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you for having me.
All right, he is Kevin Gray of DLLS Sports. You can find him there. And before we go here, let me remind you that you can find all episodes on our Patreon page. All episodes of Your Dark Companion is on our Patreon page. You can also find us on YouTube. You can find us on Spotify. You can find us wherever you get your podcasts, as they like to say now. So listen, follow, share us on your social media. That means everything to those of us who swim out here in the waters of the podcast. And while we're at it, If you're feeling what we're throwing down, how about a nice review? If you're by the channel on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, help others find us by leaving a review. Thank you, Shoopy. Thank you, Ashley. Thank you, Becca. Thanks to the great Kevin Gray. This has been your Dark Companion. Bye.
All right. I'm gonna go take my pants off.
Your Dark Companion is a Stolen Water Media presentation.